back in the building. We back in the building. We back in the building. Yeah, we back in the building, y'all. So y'all already know what to do, man. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, because today we got to talk about Lil Durk once again. Yeah, that part. The feds actually, the government, the feds, whatever you want to call it, prosecutors, whatever, they pushed the motion. They pushed the motion also to make sure his motion don't go through for the bond. Because remember, the judge got to check everything out on May 8th for Lil Durk for him to able to get a bond and all that. But according to the federales and on people that's going against them in that court system, they don't push a motion in now. I'm gonna show y'all, let y'all see that. And they not playing with Durk, man. They not playing. They don't push a motion in about some lyrics that he used. Didn't I tell y'all from my yesterday video? They're gonna try to use every bit of lyric that he spit on his rhymes, everything, connect that to the street activities that was going on, obviously between his camp and they rival gangs, whatever you want to call it, allegedly. That's what they doing. They not playing with Durk. They ain't trying to let Durk get no type of bond or nothing. They like, nah, we not playing with you, man. Here, take that, Judge. Read that right there. That's connected to what we trying to do right now. That's what the federales are doing right now to Durk. They trying to make sure he don't come on no bond or nothing. But we're going to talk about this, so y'all already know the vibe. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this show started, man. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. We back here with another video. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. Ain't going to hurt your feelings. Ain't going to cost you. Smash that like. Subscribe. Make sure that notification bell on so you know when my videos are dropping. And share the video. Shout out to my members. They got their membership. Team Smoke Gang. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love on that note. And shout out to all my supporters. Now, I mean, that been smashing that subscribe button. Couldn't do it without y'all. Let's get to that part. But let's get this copyright out the way right quick. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. So if y'all don't know what's going on, man, I said, okay. The government said, not so fast, Durk. They filed a motion, have his motion for bond reconsideration, denies, swap to see what they say. Now, this is part of what they pushing on the motion. If y'all see the black part right there, what is written on black, you see right there, they say, for example, defendant was featured on another artist's song in which he raps. I don't want no ninjas who you catch. I want the one I paid for. That part. They're trying to connect that. I want the one I paid for. They trying to connect that to the murder for hire, what they got him actually indicted for. I just said this shit, man. This dude was talking too much in his music, but very quiet on the interviews. It's like he was backwards for some strange reason. But that's what happens when you start talking crazy in them goddamn rap music and you want to talk about what your homies did, spitting the block and doing this, or yeah, we do this. And you can't talk like that in your music. We all know. People going to say, nah, Smoke, they've been talking like that for years. Okay, we know that. They've been talking about shit they did since the 90s in hip-hop. But see, it's certain ways, the way you spit it, pause, the way you rap about it in your bars. There's certain ways to talk about it. That part. You don't break down the whole goddamn details of what your allegedly, what your entourage or what your camp did out there in them streets, man. You don't break it, oh yeah, I got the bag on them, and then you say it in your rap. You don't do that shit, because then 2-3 years later, they come, they listen to the music. Oh, you was doing a lot of murder for hire. You was talking about a lot of bag on people's heads, and I'll pay for this and that. That's where they getting Durk at as we speak. They sat back and they just listen to this music. While they got a whole goddamn informant right by on the side of them, giving them information about Lil Durk and the OTF camp. Because you got to understand, they didn't get all this information by themselves. So let's throw that in the air right quick. Let that marinate in your brain. They didn't get all this information by themselves. They get information from somebody that's actually working for them, number one. Number two, the information goes up another level after that. Now the person that's working for them, and then the way the federales work, now they all in, nigga. They getting audio, they getting everything on the nigga. That's how they play. Like, what are we talking about here? We know how they play. So when I seen that bond motion, I said, nah. I said, they ain't playing with Durk, man. They're not playing. The government has reportedly filed a motion citing lyrics from Little Durk's song Rumors featuring Gucci Man and unreleased song size from Durk's phone. Let that marinate in y'all brain. They don't went in this nigga goddamn phone and got some unreleased songs, all types of shit, hearing the music. Come on, man. To argue against his release on bond. This is nasty work. You see, people gotta understand these little iPhones and shit that we got on our hand, these little technologies, devices that we be walking around with and all this. Yo, you could delete all that shit. Songs that you was talking crazy on, yeah, you know I did this, just so you could get that shit out your chest. I understand that. But bro, you can't talk like that. Say you got that shit in your song or you got it written, because you know a lot of niggas write that shit in their song. Write that shit in their little notebook or shit or whatever, and they phone, their little notes, whatever, on their phone, on the iPhone. Or they got the audio too, where you can actually say it, and then when you get to the booth, you remember the shit. That part. What are we talking about? We know how this shit work with the technology and devices now. Ain't no more handwriting, nigga. These niggas doing all that shit on their phones now. See, back in my days, niggas was handwriting. Niggas was writing that shit on the paper, piece of paper, with a pen. Yeah, you know, the Big Smalls and, you know, Jay-Z's and all them niggas was doing that day. Back in them days, the Nas and all that. It's a different era. These niggas is typing that shit on their phones now. And you think you delete that shit? Nah, nigga, that shit stayed there forever. When the federales go to the to the app or whatever, and they want to go back a year or whatever, all your text messages and all your notes, whatever, and all your audio and everything you got on your goddamn phone. That's how they play if they want to take it to that level. And obviously they taking it to that level. They going on this nigga phone. They looking for unreleased songs. They looking. Yo, they text the dumb and the company to get them permission to warrant to look through them phones for all them years, well, how far they want to go back. That part. Am I lying here? I sit back, I'll wait. Let me pedal it back. Let me repeat myself. It takes the federales to go to the phone company to tell them they need a warrant for that phone, and they could go as far as they want to go back to look for what they want to look for and whatever pop up on the goddamn phone. Or whatever pop up on the computer, whatever, however they doing it. That's how spooky this shit get. And obviously, that's what they doing to Durk. They like, hold on, son. We about to pull a motion in here. We got some unreleased songs and shit. Yeah. Dare not tell you they got, yo, listen. When we get the audio of the so-called recording that OTF Jam did, whatever, the audio, whatever they say they got on certain members talking and all that, that's when it's going to really get spooky. It's going to be some nasty work out in that courtroom. But this, for them to do this right now, that's telling everybody, that they like, nah. We not letting you out. We got more too if you want to show it to the judge before May 8th. This is nasty work, man. I feel bad for the homie, man. I really do. A judge had agreed to hear Little Durk new bond request on May 8th in LA. I just talked about that. His team plans to present the purpose of bail package include $1 million in cash, $900K in real estate, $150K from associate, 24/7 armed security, and an electronic monitor, whatever, to show that he's not a flight risk. So this is what his team is offering to the judge and everything. This is what they're giving: $1 million cash, $900,000 real estate, $150K on associate, whatever, 24/7 armed security, and they say an electronic monitor to make sure he ain't no flight risk. This is what they throwing to the table to the judge. Now, my question to y'all: do y'all think the judge gonna go for this? Let him be home? Let him fight this shit while he's home on house arrest with a monitor around his ankle? Or you think that they feel like he's too much of a threat out there in society? You see, the way I'm thinking, then the kind of case that he got, murder for hire. Let me repeat myself. Murder to hire, whatever. Money on somebody's head, money on people's heads, money on bags on people's heads, that part. We're gonna say it in all types of goddamn lingos. When you got that type of case, the judge gonna look at you like you are absolutely threat with the money that you carry in your account, the person that you are, and the case that you're actually fighting. So who is we to say, this is what the judge and them gonna think about. I'm telling y'all, who's we to say that you ain't gonna try to knock off some assume that you think it's a rat in your camp, or you might try to knock them. That's the way they're gonna think. That's what I'm hoping. I pray. I hope the little homie come home, to be honest, because it's the best way to fight your case. But the way that them people think in that system, they like, nah, nigga. Look at the case that we got you on. You think we're gonna let you out? You might end up knocking somebody off and shit, trying to knock people off not to come testify on you, allegedly. And everything I speak on is alleged. But that's the way them people think in that system. Look at the case that Durk is facing. You get what I'm saying? He ain't facing no drug trafficking or nothing like that. Nah, this nigga facing for knocking niggas off, putting bags on them, allegedly. So what make you think the judge gonna approve that shit on May 8th? This is nasty work, man. But hold up, Durk Camp. Now I want y'all to read this because little Durk Camp actually respond to this. So check this out. Make sure y'all read what they saying right here. They basically saying they're using the lyrics against us. That's a no-no. That's against, you know what I mean? That's like blah, blah, whatever. Look what they say, basically. Now, if y'all want to go back, basically, you got to read what they put. Let's go back one more time for the people that probably couldn't read it. But if you want, you can pause it also. Now, they say, according to Lil Durk Camp, we all know they're using the lyrics against him. Like I've been saying in my last videos and the last other videos about this Durk situation. But you can't blame nobody but Durk. And we all know that music is sometimes a place that where you can express your feelings and express your pain and express your life experience and all that. We understand that. Yeah, that part. We all understand that shit. Music is for that. You going through life struggles and all this, and you and all this coming up in the ranks and all this, and you trying to come in the game. Yeah, we understand you go in the studio. You express your pain. You express your life. You express the life that you're living with your friends or whatever. It's like a life story, basically, when you go in the studio. You're talking about a life story if you live that type of life. Some people go in there and they lie and they fake that shit. And they talk about their homie life or their other homie life or some shit like that. Fake it till you make it. We all know that goddamn term. But anyway, we understand that people go in the studio, the R&B people, hip hop, pop, rock and roll, they all speak about their life. But see, this is a certain level where you gotta stop at. Let me pedal back. You gotta stop at a certain level where you can't talk about a little bit too much. That's the problem that little Durk had in this situation. And we all understand that. We all understand that the music, like I said, let me pedal back and repeat myself again. Music is a place where you go express your feelings, your life, whatever you want to express. It's a story. It's a life story. Love life, whatever category your ass in there, you're gonna express that shit. Struggle, whatever. You that's what music is for. But there's a certain point where you gotta stop. You can't talk about a lot of shit, especially criminal shit, especially saying shit that your homies did allegedly. That's the shit I didn't get what he was doing. Because you talking about a lot of shit that people from Chicago is putting connected to. They're like, oh, damn, this shit. Like, this shit was like real story life he was talking about that people was getting knocked off out there in Chicago. And whatever rival gangs they had with each other with other niggas. Allegedly. Especially when King Von was alive. You see, people don't get this. Y'all gotta understand. He just beat that case a couple of years ago in Atlanta. Remember when him and King Von caught that case? Don't Fed Atlanta, they wanted. When you beat a case like that, and we all assume that, because I even made a video, we all assume allegedly that Durk blamed everything on King Von after he passed away. That's how he was able to get up out that situation and beat that case in Atlanta. Remember the King Von and Lil Durk situation when the niggas was dumbing out or they allegedly robbed the nigga, then they dumb out on him. Y'all know the story. But the rumor was, and the allegation and the narrative was that Durk actually allegedly blamed everything on King Von when he passed away. That's how he got off on that case. But see, this goes back to what I said. His ass should have sat back and be like, yo, I'm going to fall back now because these boys, meaning the federales and everybody, the state, they got their eyes on me. Them niggas want me. They on me right now. And King Von just passed away. You should have thought about that right there. You should have sat back. Yo, let me fall back on this. These niggas, I mean, I'm on a high seat. I'm on the radar right now. No, this nigga continue talking crazy. And then we don't know what his camp was doing for the revenge of King Von, whatever else them niggas was doing. That they trying to connect all these people with the murder to hire shit, going all the way to Chicago out this. We ain't just talking to LA with Quando on cousin. They trying to take that shit to Chicago too. With D thing on with the retaliation for his brother with D thing. They trying to connect that shit to Durk. Because he mentioned that shit in his music. All the Durk fans know I ain't lying. This nigga mentioned every goddamn spinning around the block, knock a nigga off in his music. You don't do that, champ. You just don't. I don't understand. In your interviews, in the interviews you do, man, you keep your antennas up. You very careful on words of what you say when they ask you questions. And I like that about you, because they be asking you some bugged out questions, and you'll look at them like, what, nigga, I'm not gonna answer that. You did it in the Breakfast Club with King Von was getting a little bit too loose up there. You had to tap King Von like, nigga, hold up, know what I mean? Like, be quiet a little bit. You're good at that. But see, when you go in the studio, nigga, you the opposite. You thinking they can't connect you to your music. No, nigga, they doing that now for the last couple of years. That's what they doing now with this motion. They not playing with him. They don't even want that nigga out on bail. Now, hopefully he'll get a bail. Hopefully. But when you talk so much, and then they've been keeping your eye, them boys been watching you since King Von passed away. That's what, and then you just beat them boys down there in Atlanta. You beat the state. You think them boys there want you out there? You think them boys like, man, we're going to get your ass, nigga. Now that King Von passed away, yeah, we're going to get you. We can't get Von now, but we're going to get you. You don't think them Chicago DAs and all that don't? Come on, bro. Come on, Durk. You should have been smarter than that. Once you beat that case in Atlanta, man, you should have fell back with your family, kids, did your music, did it the right way. Don't be talking too much crazy no more in your music. Nigga, you just did a feature with J. Cole. Nigga, that shit went crazy. You wasn't on that song talking crazy. So you know how to make music without indicting yourself and your goddamn team, nigga. Let me repeat myself. You know how to make music without indicting yourself and your team. You did it plenty of times on plenty of other music that you do. But the ones that went crazy, those the ones they listening to. Those the ones they going back listening to. The unreleased music that you did and you got in the cut. Damn, somehow the DA got their hands on that shit, certain music. Come on, man. I smell a rat in the camp, allegedly. There's more than just one informant over there in that OTF camp. But see, my question to y'all, when I play this next video, right? Because academics said the same shit what I'm about to say on this one. Is them niggas, it's a possibility he could beat this case if them niggas stand 10 toes down. It's a possibility. But is all 5 of them niggas, 6 of them niggas, whatever, gonna take that? Is all them niggas gonna stay 10 toes down? That's the hard part, because this whole case is based on witnesses. It's based on informants. It's based on these niggas, if these niggas gonna flip. This is how this case is gonna be built on. It's built on these niggas gonna flip on Durk and worry about themselves and say, F Durk, what's this a possibility? Or they're gonna stay 10 toes down and all them niggas gonna ride this shit out. And it's a possibility Durk could end up beating this charge because they really ain't got too much crazy evidence on him. Let's go to this one clip though, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, man. Free Lil Durk, man. Hopefully everything go well, man. But the music is gonna come back and haunt you in that court, man.
You can't put a man in jail for life because he was on a plane, private jet or not. That doesn't say intent. With another guy, even if he was involved in buying ski masks and whatever. You said murder for hire, which means I told them to do it and I hired. What money did I promise? Where was his funds transferred? Did I make that order? This case is very witness dependent. Now, if 6 people get up there and start singing like Tweety Bird, oh, he's probably cooked. We might see this case drag on. If some of these witnesses are free, they might end up dead. Again, this is gonna be solely on witness testimony.
Exactly. Don't y'all agree? Because most of the evidence they got is connected to the niggas, the other niggas, the OTF members. They looking at Lil Durk like, you the head honcho, you providing all the money and everything. You providing the transportation, the money, everything they need. The armor nigga, the weapons, whatever. That's how the federales looking at Durk. That's how they painting him. You the head honcho of this situation. So we're gonna charge you like the head honcho. That's how they playing with Little Champ, man. I'm telling y'all, man. It goes back to his goddamn music. His music is what's gonna haunt him in that damn court if the judge said, yo, we could use certain songs and certain lyrics. In this case, that shit gon', man, listen, man. And then if one of these 5 or 6 niggas flip on him, what the music that they gonna use? Oh my, how Durk gonna beat this shit? How? It comes down to the witnesses, whoever gonna flip, or whoever else they got in the cut that we don't know about right now to the trial start, that Durk probably don't even know about. I guarantee y'all they got somebody or a couple people that Durk don't even know that these niggas just gonna pop up in court and switch on them, bro. Man, it's gonna be nasty, man. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna get real crazy. That's what make me think they're not gonna let Durk home, because they scared of the witnesses and they're scared of the people that he might assume that might flip on him. Now we know Durk might, I mean, come on, he's facing the middle of the high, so he's gonna stay with his family, he's gonna be in the cut, but they not thinking like that. They're like, nah, nigga, you might end up knocking some more people off. We don't know. That's how they thinking. Peep this interview out he did with academics a while back. And people how he answer this shit. But the music is totally the opposite, though.
Right. By the slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, maybe you sing slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. By the way, that song is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We here though. We different in Iraq.
Heard that? Yeah, though, we definitely different in Iraq. Yeah, so you don't see no cops tomorrow, right? All these little clips and shit. Now remind y'all, remember from the old video? When he first put the foul motion in, they even using clips like this and all this from his interviews and trying to bring it to court. They trying to, yo, listen, man. Yo, and when the feds go that deep, they try to do it to Young Thug, remember. They try to use Young Thug lyrics, and somehow, some way, Young Thug lawyers like, nah, we ain't using them lyrics. We ain't using that against them. So they wasn't able to use a lot of lyrics that Young Thug had in his music. But this is a whole different state, whole different ball game, and a whole different charge. They even trying to connect from the Cali all the way to Chicago for Little Durk. That's how crazy this shit getting. 2 different states. And I guarantee you, if somehow, some way, God bless, man, if this man could beat that California case with this shit he's facing right now, Chicago gonna come down. They're gonna come with a case on them too. I'm telling y'all right now. If they connect that retaliation for D thing and try to say that was Durk work and his OTF work, that shit all the way in Chicago. That's a whole nother state line, man. They not playing with this nigga. That's why I keep telling y'all, there's more witness and more informants in that camp, yo. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm telling y'all. And I feel bad for the little homie because hopefully his lawyers could they could eat them up, they could eat them people up in court, but we don't know what type of witnesses they got. We don't know if them niggas gonna end up flipping on Durk when they go to court without Durk knowing. Y'all give me y'all opinion, give me y'all smoke on this. What y'all think? Y'all think Durk coming home? Y'all think Durk possibly could beat this charge? Y'all think they're gonna use the music in court on against Durk? I want to hear y'all smoke and hear y'all opinion about this. Till then, man, I'm up out of here, man. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV, man. Salute, gang. I'm out of here. Free little Durk, man. Word.